So now that I picked up on all the information necessary for Hill to fucking screw off that, because they were the ones that invented this idea to do this shit to this person. Okay, we got Lokana, Pakada, Akiata, and Nokada soul collectors here. Do you know what that means? She has the collection souls of the people who are connected with these people pretending to be her husband. Okay? She has their soul connections. She can feel their deaths in their lives. And he didn't know that she was a soul collector. Well, he thinks he's gonna be able to live a full life being a vampire or whatever, right? In his mind, he thinks he's a vampire. They blew his brain out 10 years ago, telling him he's a vampire of the dead. And they disguised his looks and told him to keep living however he wanted to live. Well, he chose to do a terrible thing one time, and it really messed with his brain cells, right? He kiosked a woman's brain or whatever, he said. I don't know how you say it, but we don't want to really explain this detail because it's kind of sad, and he didn't mean to do it, that we know of, because of the way his brain worked. Well, because of the brain accelerator, it blew his brain out too. At the same time, she was having her brain blown out. This happened 2 years ago that somebody blew out someone's brain. Well, because of that, he believed he was somebody he's not. And in his brain, if you check the accelerator, you would see that he's a living being of another person. Because his brain accelerator busted 3 years ago that he thinks he's somebody completely different. He thinks he's married to this person here, and he's not. Because in his brain cell, he's Kotokopa, which is a vampire from hell from 10 years ago, who died several many years ago. And he came back to life, kiosking her, thinking he could live with her again under the same roof as this being, right? As this person. He's under her roof, saying that he loves her and all this shit, right? But he's not in love with her because he's got two other vampires down the street that he sleeps with all the time. The two vampires are Chrissy Manning and Tammy Lyles. He set it up so much that he wants to fuck with her head for cheating on her, right? That he thinks she cheated on him and all that shit. Never happened. She never did. That was all a lie. She played a game with him and told him that she loved him and all that shit. And he was like, I don't believe her and all that shit, right? And she's like, I'm doing what's best in my relationships because I love whoever I love. And she was honest at the time. He gets mad at her saying she don't love him, but the fact is that she loved him the whole time. That's what he didn't know. He fucked up in the relationship and blames her for it. And so he went ahead and kiosked Kamad, two evil people, to get them to be evil around her while he's out Kamasi, basically doing this stuff. He wants her to hate him for no reason whatsoever, just to hate him. And he feels like his belligeration is the best thing to do in the world, right? So he did this other tactic he's not telling about that they're trying to hide, is he made copies of himself, basically playing with her head for 4.5 years, saying that he was the person that she met when he wasn't. He was a different accelerator from hell. He's Kiosk Hamad in his brain. He thinks he's someone else and he's not. He's not the same person because the same person acted different then too. They acted way different, that their brain accelerator was messed up, so he believed he was somebody completely different than who he said he was. And it was so weird that there's 4 guys total like him. There are 4 of him. And they walk around the blocks pretending to be each other all the time, going to other people's addresses to steal identity theft and giving the identity theft to the PRs that they're hanging out with. They give the identity information that they sleep with multiple girls too, by the way. He hasn't been sleeping with just one girl. He slept with 15 girls in a matter of a week. In a matter of a week, okay? Not a year, a week. He sleeps with 15 girls in a week to steal their identity, to do fraud and identity theft. And he gives the information over to Tammy Lyles over here and Chrissy Manning, giving them information so they can steal more information. So what they do with it is after they get the information, they write false information into them, making them prostitutes, basically PRs as well. They're selling them off telling them if they don't let the, basically this is what she gets the gist of. She kind of hard explained it. Is basically they're threatening girls that they're stealing identity theft for and making them sell themselves on the street. Basically, they're selling them by sliding drugs into their drinks and stuff and telling them what to do and where to go. They've been kiosking these women all over the state. They've been doing it for the last 3 years now. Since Angel here said she was drugged, they start getting ideas and doing it themselves. So they've been telling people that they had to do this in order to get their addiction money because they have addictions. They made a whole society about this, billing the quantum physics experts just to do this. And what they do is they kiosk them and tell them what to do just to get a man drunk. And what they do is they slice them up in 355 feet from each other. After they're done with them, if they don't like them anymore, they throw them in the trash. They get bored with them. They think of them as not living beings, but as robots. So they just tear them up and throw them in trash cans. And if you go down the street 5 blocks over, 5 blocks down on Keokuk in Neoma, you will see body blood spots on the ground all over. They're everywhere there. They just, nobody goes there, so they didn't know to look there. But if you look down the street, 5 blocks over, 5 blocks down, you'll see the dead bodies that they leave, their carcasses there after they killed them. And they bury them just a little bit under the ground, about this much under the ground. After killing them, they tormented a couple of them in Sandy's house. That's why she was able to pick up on their deaths. And now she's able to tell on them and say, what the fudge is wrong? Why are they killing people? So they killed at least 15 people last week, tormenting them. And these are not collected souls. These are physical beings of people being killed right now. They are killing them down the street over by Neoma and Keokuk. This is my psychic ability picking it up because I've been around the smell and I would smell the death coming through them. I can smell all of them. And I can call them by spirits to possess my body like Okada, Kyapata, and Naukada, which are 3 blocks over right now, and they're on their way now to explain their deaths. See, those are the spirits connected with them. See, they are fresh blood, so they were killed recently. They keep killing them off over and over, selling their body parts to the dead. They're killing them and selling their body parts, basically. It's a joke that they did in hell, so they've been doing it in real life. They're sickos.